They are trying to provoke us with attack dogs and pepper spray.
So let's talk tour, because I'm like, you guys have a lot of shows coming up. I'm very excited because you guys are coming up here to Seattle area. As I said earlier, every member of this radio station and most of the people at Daybreak Star Indian Cultural Center here have all bought tickets to go see you guys play with Kuweeks. But I want to know, I know touring can be, like exhilarating, but it can also be exhausting. So I want to know, how do you guys manage the physical and mental demands of being on the road, and what keeps you motivated, like, during those long stretches away from home?
Hmm. That's an interesting question. It's a lot of work for sure. I think if we didn't play so much, we'd have a CD done already, because we're pretty busy. And I think a lot changed because pre-pandemic we were on the road a lot. We're in our band. We played in Mexico and Utah and all over the place. And but once everything got shut down, we kind of slowed down, and everybody kind of realized that, well, maybe not, the band isn't the most important thing in our lives, right? So we all kind of found our little connections in the world. And, moving forward, it's kind of, we still have those connections, and it's really interesting. So we're trying to navigate that. This is going to be our first kind of extended tour in a while, and it's only like 12 days, something like that. But still, that's a lot. And so yeah, it's interesting. I've got a family, little kids at home too, and I'm really reluctant to go on the road too much. But we have these great opportunities, and you really can't say no. But we all have different experiences and different values. But I think one of the things we try and do is keep each other's needs in mind, and we're all very different people. When we're on the road, some of us all like to hang out together. Some of us are like, we'll see you at the gig, kind of thing, and that's okay. We don't try to force anybody to do anything. So it's an interesting. It's fun too. I've never laughed harder in my life than hanging out with these guys. I've also been mad and angry at each other. Yeah. But it's gamut. We're a family, so.
Let's see how Romeo, you want to add to this one?
Oh, absolutely. Because, being on the road with Innastate is one of the best times of my life. Every time we go out, like we just got back from playing at the Smithsonian National Museum of the Native American, right? Is that what they call that place?
Of the American Indian.
American Indian. Yeah. So that was a beautiful experience. And that just goes to credit the wonderful job that Rylan and Adrian do with promoting the band, and also booking these, awesome tours, and when we're out there, it is like we got each other's backs, we make sure we get on the airplane. We're having trouble getting to the airport. And sometimes it don't work out, but most of the time it does. but that's, someone's got to do it, right? So Innastate, I think we have a reputation of being a good time on the road, especially when our people are in the places that we're at. We had some people that we knew that were also performing at the Kennedy Center, right? So we made a field trip as a band out there and watched them perform. And that was a wonderful experience. And just being part of this group has opened so many doors through music for me that if my father was alive, he would be so proud of me. And so would my mom. So thank you guys. Thanks, guys.
One thing, like a bit of adding on to what Adrian was saying, I've been insanely fortunate to play with the group of musicians that I do, and I actually like all of them. Because I've noticed that's not necessarily a given. And you would think, let's start a band like that, it's going to be your group of friends. But sometimes, it's like, oh, man, this guy can't make it. We need another guitarist, or this person can't make it. Sometimes bands just evolve into different beasts, and that's okay. But, man, this group of musicians, I genuinely really like all of these guys. And I think all of us really do enjoy each other's company, as Adrian was saying. But we also, again, really, really maintain each other's boundaries, because that is an important thing. It's important for us to be at work when it's time for work, and, to let each other do what they want, like when it's time for, when we've got downtime, because traveling can be wonderful, but it's also really important for all of us to be about our mental health and whatnot. And I actually brought my Xbox out to DC this last time because I wanted to stay in my room and play some video games some of the time, and I didn't want to be out the entire time, but I ended up going out most of the time anyways, like there's so much to do out there. How Romeo said, we went and saw our friends to Hassan and whatnot, but yeah, like I think it's just important to remember that we're friends, it's important to remember that we're not just work colleagues, we're not just Innastate, like we care about each other genuinely. And if one of us isn't up to par, like mentally, then it's like the band is going to suffer. So we need to make sure all of us are doing well, and as Romeo said, we need to look out for each other by all means.
That's a perfect kind of segue into my next question. Many bands have signature rituals or routines before they go on stage. And if you guys feel comfortable, do you have any pre-show traditions to help you get into the right mindset for performance?
Let's see.
I think for me, the most important thing is the sound check, making sure we can hear and everything, because I know it's kind of a lame thing, because we don't have any kind of ceremonies that we do or anything like that. But to me, like, if we don't have a good sound check, I'm always worried. But if everything's going good in sound check, I'm most confident.
Let's see. For myself, I have a decent sized bass case, and I put a lot of things in there. I always keep a nail clipper on because I play bass and I use my fingers for picking. And then I have some deodorant in there because screw showing up to the show and then sweating it out and not having put on deodorant. But no, I think each of us, like individually, we kind of might have our own thing. But as a band, we're just like, hey, it's time. Let's write set list right here, right now. And let's just fellowship. Let's hang out and have fun, And again, it's lucky that we all like each other because, yeah, we have a blast. And I think that's probably more of the thing. We just kind of look out for each other in that sense too. It's like, let's have some fun. Let's do this,
Nice. That is good. That is good that you guys all like each other. Because I've seen some of these bands in the past where they just hate each other, and it's apparent. And it's like, how do you stay together? So I got to know, because everyone's gonna ask, and I need to know, because we all got to know, because we all love you guys. When can we expect new music, more of the amazing, wonderful stuff that you guys make?
We'll be performing at least let's see, so Ghost Resolution, I think 3 new songs over at Seattle. Let's see. They aren't recorded yet, but as far as recordings goes, Adrian, I think we're planning on hopefully releasing one this upcoming year. Yeah,
probably springtime. There's a couple more songs we're working on and gotta line it up. We've been really fortunate to be hanging out with this guy Delbert Anderson that Romeo mentioned. He's a fantastic trumpet player, and he likes to jam with us because when they get together, we have a full horn section with trumpet, trombone, and saxophone. And some of the stuff that's been coming out of that's really cool. And Delbert threw us a tune the other day that we're gonna be working out on this trip. And Delbert will be hanging out with us. He'll probably play with us there in Seattle. So yeah, we definitely want to kind of work with him a little bit more to refine our horn lines and that kind of stuff. So yeah, hopefully this spring we'll have it out. We're sitting on some really good stuff right now.
But yeah, it'll be an album. It'll be another album. And yeah, we're really excited about it. The new tunes are sounding stellar. And again, we're going to play a few of them over at Seattle with you guys along QX. So yeah, you guys definitely need to come out for it. It's going to be awesome.
We can't wait. Any possible big collaborations that you guys are allowed to talk about? Maybe Sandra Segundo, Air Jazz.
We know you're playing with Kuwait soon.
Yeah. Right. That's something we have this rolling conversation. We're not that familiar with the scene up in Seattle as far as musicians, and I know there's a lot of musicians up across the border in Vancouver. Kind of follow it, but we're more familiar with musicians here in the Southwest, and the music scene in Albuquerque is just, it's really bumping. You know, Levi Patero and Lindy Vision, and of course Delbert Anderson. There's just a bunch of bands here. But we always, I always talk about that. In fact, there's a couple songs that he came up with recently. He's like, "Oh, we got to do strings with this." Say, I don't know who we are talking about, but yeah, I mean, it's always in the works, and I think this album will have a lot of guest artists on it for sure. I don't want to drop any names right now, but that's always a conversation.
Yeah, because there's a chance that we'll be like, oh, that didn't sound as cool. Again, we're always evolving.
There's that chance. Yep.
No, I'm just kidding.
So just one last question for you guys. It's an important one because, you know, we gotta watch the future, make sure it's set for our youth. So what advice would you guys give our youth, you know, that are just trying to get started in this industry, whether they want to be reggae or, you know, a jazz artist or whatever? What advice would you want to pass on to them to help them?
Let's see. Romeo, you should start this one off because I'm gonna quote something you told me, and I don't want to say the same.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, because I got plenty of one-liners. Go for it.
Okay. I'm not quite sure who Romeo was quoting for this one. I know that he had read an interview or something, but he just said, "Be nice," and I think that's a really important thing for musicians to do. It's really easy to get really caught up in the competitive side because, you know, like, I want to be the very best and all of that. But like, no, like, just because we play music, just because we're part of different scenes, like, we're all in the same bigger scene. You know what I mean? Like, collaborate with different musicians, collaborate on different shows with different peeps from your area, you know, like, make it a variety show. Like, don't get all cliquey with it, you know? Like, don't limit yourself to the people you want to work with. Like, work with everybody and be cool to everybody. And those who are going to be doing the real things will see you for that. And those who aren't, like, are going to fall to the wayside faster anyways, you know? Like, if you want to last in your scene and you want to get bigger, yeah, be nice to everybody. For sure.
My quick one-liner would be to be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late. To be late is to be replaced. Hey, that's true.
Real.
That's for me.
That's Harris's motto. How about you, Adrian?
For me, I'm coming from a more artist perspective. You know, I'm also a visual artist. And a musician, of course, but you know, one of the things that I wish somebody had told me when I was young would be, you know, be nice to yourself. Don't be hard on yourself, and get to know who you are. Be true to who you are. Don't pretend to be anybody. You know, of course, we all emulate things to learn, but yeah, it's really important to understand who you are as an individual. That's how you'll be able to express yourself in a positive way. And then I struggled with that for a long time, coming from a kind of a mixed race identity, kind of trying to find a place in my tribal community, and I didn't speak the language and those kind of things. You know, it took me a long time to understand, like, oh, well, who I am is fine, and to really understand that person even took a lot longer. So it's always a journey, but I think it's really important that you just be true to yourself and be nice to yourself, you know, and then you can be nice to other people.
All good advice. All good advice.
Great
Definitely. Because we all know how hard this industry can be sometimes. So, you know, all you is just, you know, if you keep at it, just keep at it. Well, I want to thank all of you guys so much for speaking with us. As I said, we're so looking forward. I have not gotten the chance to see you live yet. I'm so excited. So that's coming up. So I'm really excited for that. When we found out, tickets everywhere. So yeah, thank you guys so much for speaking with us. Look forward to hearing new music from you guys, and yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Harrison. Later, brother.
Bye-bye.
They are trying to provoke us with attack dogs and pepper spray. Well, this is a peaceful protest. Protectors, stand your ground and pray. 'Cause when the pipeline breaks, it would be the